Here's Downton Abbey, Season 3, Episode 9, Christmas Special 2012, the season finale of Downton Season 3. It's almost like a movie, this episode, where really it's like they could even split it in two halves, but it's really like an 85-minute pretty fantastic movie, which has a very tragic ending, which if you're really paying attention, you know it's going to happen, but in a way, yeah, you kind of know it's going to happen because Mary and Matthew's relationship is too on the nose and too like, I love you so much and I love you more and more and more. And that was basically their arc of the season, where it's like it was just too, there wasn't much conflict going on between their love for each other, so you knew that something had to happen, which of course it does happen in this episode. And like I said, if you're paying attention, you know that Matthew is kind of doomed to fail. But so many ways, like, you love Matthew. So for me personally, it's like I knew it might have happened, but I didn't really want it to happen. I was kind of rooting for like a happy ending. But of course, this is Downton Abbey, and they got to set up the season 4 but it's sad, you have two great deaths in this season, and it's almost like we're like, it's the beginning of television in a way where cable TV is like saying, you know what, we can kill anybody. It's like Sopranos. Like, we know Tony Soprano is not going to die, but anybody else could die. It doesn't really matter. Anybody can die. It doesn't matter who it is. We can kill off anybody else, and it's like it keeps you hanging, like Deadwood or even Homeland, where it keeps you hanging, where it's like you don't know who's going to die. And this is what's going on with Downton, where it's like anybody could die. Probably Robert is the only one who's saved in terms of the death in future seasons, but even Robert could die. It's a total ensemble, and this is what they're doing here. And basically what this episode is about, preparing for change. And that's the theme of this episode. And it's kind of like preparing for change for the viewers. It's like Matthew's going to die. I'm preparing you for this change. It's going to be a whole new season in 1922 or whatever he decides to start the new season. And you guys got to be prepared, as Robert needs to be prepared. So what we're learning here in this episode is when they go to Scotland to visit their family members on vacation or whatever you want to call it, Robert realizes that all these big, great homes are being mismanaged because there isn't one that upper middle class business savvy being taking care of things. And Robert's realizing that this man, who basically has a horrible marriage and basically is doomed to fail because he's mismanaged this Scotland place, and it needs to go down. He doesn't know what to do with his daughter. So Robert's realizing how lucky he is with Matthew. He's realizing that, wait a minute, I'm still with the old times. I've been stubborn, but man, am I lucky having Matthew. And so, of course, it even makes him even more tragic in the end. But it's also setting up Thomas basically taking things over in season 4. The chauffeur takes things over. So what we're gonna do is that cousin Rose is going to be moving into Downton, so she's going to be the new Sybil in so many ways. And we're also learning here that Edith still can't catch a break, where she's falling in love with her editor of the newspaper that she's writing for, but he basically some convoluted story that he's married, but she's in a insane asylum, she can't get out. So, but of course, like, it's their love for each other is like it can't be touched, and Edith is like just can't catch a break at all. Thomas must realize that he's not a servant anymore, that he's moving forward, like he's preparing for his own change, and he shouldn't feel guilty about the position that he's in anymore. And kind of Mrs. Hughes kind of tells him that, like off the record, like saying that you shouldn't be guilty. You've done well. You shouldn't be guilty for who you are. And it's preparing for Thomas to kind of take over Matthew's position in so many ways in season 4. Which I'm assuming, and this is also the episode of females like Mrs. Patmore and Matthew's mother, kind of like getting opportunities to get married, because that's what the old generation in 19th century women needed. They wanted to get married, and that's where they found independence. But now it's the world that, you know what, we don't need to get married anymore because we are women and we are workers, and we basically don't need that. And it's almost like Edith is still in the old generation, and then as Mary's even catching up and she's understanding how things are, so Mary has her baby, the heir is born, it's a baby boy, and then Matthew dies, and that's the end of Downton season 3. And it's like you just can't wait for season 4 to happen. Terrific show all around. Love the Christmas special. It's like its own little movie. They even should just not even put it on TV. They should sell tickets at the movie theater. I'm sure we'll get a good audience. That's my review.